So, you know how as a kid, you sometimes just randomly assume that you're straight for whatever reason, even if people around you didn't necessarily put that on you? I mean, I don't think anyone did with me anyway. Um, but yes, I just wanted to talk about some random crush slash oblivious gay antics as a kid. Now, I don't know if I have that much stories to tell, but I have like there's like the main story that is like somewhat substantial, but I'll get to that in a bit. First, I want to talk about this time earlier. Don't remember how old I was. I was like, I want to say it was like 8 or something, but honestly I don't remember. I don't remember if I said this out loud or just in my mind, but yeah, I don't remember. But okay, there was this time when I was a kid where I just randomly imagined, like, what if all the girls in the world wanted to turn into boys so they could be with the beautiful girl, and then it didn't work because, like, there was no girls left because they all turned into boys. That is, I have to say that's, like, simultaneously the most gay thing to think, but also the most heteronormative thing at the same time. Like, you don't have to be a boy to be with a girl, obviously, but, you know, I was a kid, so sometimes as a kid, well, it depends on the kid, but, like, in my case, some other people, you know, you don't realize that, like, you know, but I love how I specifically phrased it as, so they can be with the beautiful girl. First of all, why did I just say girl singular? But also, I love how I just, like randomly, like, imagined all the girls in the world. Like, I don't think I actually thought that all the girls in the world wanted to be with girls, but I just imagined that hypothetically. But I love how that's where my brain went as a kid, like, hypothetically, like, oh, what if all the girls in the world wanted to be with girls, and specifically referring to them as beautiful. Like, wow. It's like, alright then. Anyway, but yeah, the main story, I guess, if you want to call it that. Okay, I was like 11 to 12. It spanned over a couple of years. If the person in question, I mean, I feel like probably she won't see this video, but if she does, oh geez, this will be awkward if she sees it, but it's like, whatever. I'm like past that crush, so, like, I don't have a crush on her anymore. I haven't even seen her in like a long time, but if she sees the video, I just feel awkward because I'm like, oh geez, you know, I don't, because like, I usually don't, I don't really confess to people that I used to have a crush on them. I don't really confess crushes in general, unless I like actually want to be with the person. I've only confessed feelings to 2 people. I never confessed to anyone, oh, I used to have a crush on you, so yeah, I'd be kind of awkward with that even if the crush is past. But anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. Basically, there was this girl, and I will admit, okay, you know that video where it's called, that video I made called Accidentally Hitting on Someone? Yeah, I know in the video I said that I didn't mean it as a crush when I asked if you're interested, and that still is true. I didn't lie or anything, but I did also leave out the fact that, yeesh, I actually did have a crush on her. Yes, it was this girl named Audrey. She was a grade below me, and so, okay, we had this weird dynamic. So basically there was a different girl named Rebecca, which I also made a video about. She was not my crush, so no, that was not a crush. That was just a different girl that is relevant to the story. She was this girl that I used to think was evil for pretty silly reasons. Like, yeah, she would, like, be antagonistic towards me, but, like, a lot of stuff I just made up about her, like, oh, she has fire powers and she has evil plans to- and it's like, yeah, okay, 10-year-old me. Anyway, so yeah, that whole shenanigans happened when I was 10, and Audrey was, like, her friend, one of her friends. But yeah, Rebecca left the school that year, at the end of the year, because she graduated 6th grade, and I graduated 4th grade, and then I went into 5th grade, and then Audrey became more relevant in my life, because I was a really silly kid. I, like, there's already the whole Rebecca thing. I was like, oh, she's evil. I have to spy on her to see what her evil plans are. And then, the next 2 years after, I would spy on other people because I was convinced that they were, like, part of Rebecca's plans, and so they were, like, you know, continuing Rebecca's plans at primary school. After Rebecca left, she, like, left some of her quote-unquote minions in charge of, even though I'm putting this whole thing in quotes, left her minions in charge of, like, you know, while she does evil things at her new high school, she leaves, like, her younger minions to do her evil work at the primary school that she used to go to and that I went to and all that. And so there was like this other girl named Ashley who was not a crush either, but she was just also a person that I was suspicious of for reasons like she and her friend group, I was just like, oh, they're suspicious because they got into conflict with me, and so I ended up convincing myself they were part of Rebecca's plans, like, wow. Then the other person I was mainly suspicious, quote-unquote, of was Audrey, because I'm like, oh, she was Rebecca's friend. I would spy on these people, like, a lot because I was silly. Like, I wasn't trying to be creepy, I was just I just got it in my head somehow that I was, like, this cool, heroic super spy who would, like, save the world from these evil, suspicious people. I'm sorry, it's just so ridiculous. Here's the thing, I do genuinely feel like the stories I created from it are interesting, so they ended up turning into this, like, fun series that I make that's about, like, it's not the actual, but I don't consider those series to be about the actual people, it's, like, characters based on it, but in real life, me doing all those shenanigans is pretty ridiculous, so I like to say we have the best of both worlds, that, like, it's, like, you got the cool, interesting stories, like, to explore in fiction, and then, like, in real life, it's just, like, haha, lol, that was so funny how silly I was back then, kind of, like, laugh about it, kind of, like, funny story thing. Anyway, because, yeah, the Rebecca Ashley stuff, Rebecca Ashley, that wasn't her last name, those two different people. Rebecca Ashley, I was gonna say Ashpack, because, like, that was, like, a group that, like, I made up. Like, the people in the group are real, but, like, I just made up that they were a group. But yeah, that was different from the Ash Clan, which was her friend group. The Ash Clan was a friend group, the Ash Pack was Ashley, her best friend Sarah, and then Audrey, and then Ashley's younger sister Lauren. I, like, made up those four in a group called the Ash Pack. And then there was the Ash Team, which was just, like, all the extended, like, group member ally people, just anyone who was an ally of Ashley and Audrey, at least in my eyes. Anyway, wow, this video went from lol oblivious, like random interesting story of being an oblivious gay kid to rambling about the Ash Pack and Rebecca series that I made up. That was based on real silly events. Well, I meant, like, real, like, they were real events that were silly, but yeah, they were also real silly as well. Anyway, wow, this video was long. Oh, what the hell? Okay, so yeah, the whole Rebecca and Ashley and all that shenanigans was pretty ridiculous. But yeah, it was just a whole thing, you know, and it extended across I was gonna say 3 entire years, but I don't remember how long I don't remember how far into the year it was before the Rebecca stuff started, and same with the Ashley and Audrey stuff starting the next year, but yeah. So, 5th grade, 2010, finally, let's set the scene after, like, 2 million years of rambling about background stuff that's only partially relevant to the story, and I didn't really need to go into all of it, but I just felt like it, sorry. I hope I didn't make anyone bored. I know, sorry, people probably came here for gay stuff, and then I ended up rambling about people who are not my crush for ages. Well, I mean, I don't have a crush on her anymore, but, like, you know, my former crush, like, the crush that is in this story that is from the past. So basically, I just, like, ended up at some point getting a crush on Audrey, like, well, it was I wouldn't say it's a deep, because as a kid, your crushes, I mean, I'm not trying to undermine, maybe some kids can have deep crushes, but I feel like for most kids, it's probably like, oh, that girl's pretty, or that person's cute, or whatever, like, I don't know. Anyway, I say kids, I'm talking about, like primary school kids, by the way. Like, I know, like, people, teenagers and stuff can probably have deeper crushes, and maybe, like, tweens, I don't know. Well, I was a tween when this happened, what am I saying? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so basically, I had a crush on this girl named Audrey. Like 11 minutes in the recording, I'm just like, okay, now let's actually get to the main. Like, wow. I mean, I know some of that was other stuff. Oh my, I ramble too much. Stop rambling. Anyway, so I had a crush on this.